Today we are going to look at what makes a story a fairy tale. The first element of a fairy tale is setting. The first part of setting is time. Fairy tale stories usually take place in the past, which means long ago. Most stories start with once upon a time, and this phrase deals with setting. The second part of setting is place. Most fairy tales take place in a castle, like in the story Cinderella, or in a forest, like in the story Little Red Riding Hood. Castles and forests aren't the only places fairy tales can take place, though. They can take place anywhere that you can think of. The second element that all fairy tales must include is characters. Fairy tales can have many different types of characters, like princes, princesses, witches, animals, or even kids like you. Most fairy tales have some good characters who interact with bad characters. The bad characters normally help create a problem for the good characters. In Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Snow White is the good character and the witch is the bad character. All fairy tale stories must have both a problem and a solution. All stories must have a problem or something that goes wrong. The problem always gets solved in the story. For example, in The Three Little Pigs, the problem is the wolf blowing down all the houses, and the solution is the pigs tricking the wolf into a pot of boiling water. Since there is a solution to the problem, fairy tales have a happy ending and end with the phrase, "They lived happily ever after." Fairy tales all have magical elements throughout them. Magical elements are things that are in fairy tale stories that you wouldn't see in your normal everyday life. Some examples that some stories might include would be fairies, talking animals, or even magic mirrors. An important element that all fairy tale must include is a lesson learned. Fairy tales all have a message for the reader or a lesson to be learned. You may have to look for the lesson or think hard about what it is because it might not say this is the lesson to be learned. An example of a lesson learned is don't talk to strangers in Little Red Riding Hood. Fairy tales commonly have people, objects, or events happening in threes. Some examples of threes would be the three pigs in the story The Three Little Pigs and the three bears in the story Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Now that you have learned that fairy tales include setting, characters, problem and solution, magical elements, lessons learned, and things happening in threes, you should feel more comfortable writing a fairy tale story of your own. Happy writing!